Welcome back to Bedtime Stories with Eli, and the topic of today's bedtime story is Woman Can't Go Over to Guy's Place and Needs Advice. One more time. Woman can't go over to Guy's place and needs advice. Let's get right to it here. All right, this story is from the subreddit Dating. And the original poster created the title of Can't Go Over to Guy's Place, I Need Advice. All right, let's see what you need advice with. I started dating an older guy from Tinder. Well, that's your first mistake right there. Tinder's a hookup site. Everyone knows that by now. Come on. Jeez. Whew. And something just isn't right. Well, maybe he just wants a one-night stand, ma'am. That's what Tinder is all about, right? I haven't been to his house, and he's very vague about his living situation. Well, it could be one of many things. He could be living with somebody else. Maybe he's living with family. Maybe he's living with a friend. Maybe he doesn't want to tell you. So he's trying to take you off-site and maybe have a few dates and have some great loving at your place or hotel rooms or something. Let's see. What does she say here further? He always says, I live with my cousin. Okay, well, that's a possibility. He might be truthful with you there. But, okay, let's continue. His cousin can't always be home, question mark. Does he not work, question mark. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Why don't you ask him that? How come you haven't asked him this? Why didn't you ask him this before you met him? Because he was hot, right? He's probably a good lover, right? We supposedly live in the same area city, so I asked near what store and street name. This is ridiculous. I mean, I'd be canning this guy already if he can't be honest with you. It doesn't matter what his living situation is as long as he's honest with you, right? He told me the store, but said, oh, I can't remember the street name. Come on! I can't remember the street name where I live? Come on! And switched the conversation. Well, ma'am, what more do you need? I should just end this video right now. You know what to do. You know the answer, right? So basically, from all of this, I think he's married or has someone. Or he doesn't like his living situation. Yeah, that's a possibility. He recently brought up sex and even went as far as saying he'll pay for a hotel motel. So he has not gotten to the promised land yet because you haven't let him. Because you haven't had a place to go to do it, right? And you just don't trust him, right? You don't believe him, right? I immediately declined. Well, good for you. This guy has no game. This guy has zero game. I mean, I'm not all about game like I say on this channel. I'm here to help people, create healthy, long-lasting relationships, okay? Whether they're business-related or personal-related, right? But the same principles apply when picking up women, whether you're looking for, something casual like a hookup or a long-term relationship. This guy has no game regardless. I live with parents, so he knows not to ask to come over to my place. Okay, so it kind of sounds like you both have nowhere to go to do this, right? Maybe you both aren't working. Maybe you both are in school. I don't know how old both of you are, but I'm assuming you're probably in your early 20s, right? I don't really knows what's going on. It should be I don't really know what's going on, ma'am, but maybe that was an honest typo. Who knows? Okay, I don't really knows what's going on. Jesus Christ, man. Proofread, spell check. He never talks about this cousin. Maybe he doesn't exist. Maybe he lives with his family and doesn't want to tell you that. Nothing wrong with all that, especially in your early 20s. Just be honest about it, right? Okay? But I guess it is my fault. I should ask more questions. Ding, 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 ding. You got it, man. You got it. You hit the home run finally. You figured out that you should be asking all of these questions before you even meet the guy, right? You started dating him and hanging out with him. And he thought that his good looks and charm would just allow him to fly under the radar. Oh, yeah. But I feel when I do, it is very vague. When you ask questions, it's very vague. Then be more specific. I mean, come on. What's happening to people nowadays? Do they no longer have any common sense? I once networked with a guy when I used to be an insurance broker. And when I first started my business about, almost 15 years ago, I was networking with someone from a local chamber of commerce we used to both belong to. And he used to say, you know what, Eli? Common sense isn't that common anymore. And yeah, this just definitely proves that statement, right? Wow. I hear more from him on the weekdays while he's at work than weekends when he's off. Well, ma'am, why don't you ask him why? Ma'am, you should just block this guy, ignore him, ghost him, move on to someone else. Wow. He works construction 7 to 5 apparently. I don't hear from him after 8 or 9. He says because he falls asleep. That's a possibility, but he could also be hooking up with somebody else, or doesn't want you to know about his living situation or other things that come along with him, right? I mean, come on. If somebody is like being that closed off, that's a huge red flag. You got to get rid of this guy. Let's check out the comments section here. Actually, is that the end of the posting? Let me see here. Oh no, there's more. Sorry. He love bombs a lot, even though we barely have been associated. He's trying to love bomb you. Oh man, this guy's a beta man, beta man, beta man, beta man, beta man. Oh my God, this. I never not had a guy. I've never not had a guy try to invite me to his place. Well, yeah, because if you click with somebody, they should invite you over, right? And hang out and have some fun. And it's nice to go out too, get some hotel rooms and stuff like that. Maybe some people like myself, I don't like bringing somebody over like right away. I want to get to know them for a few months. So, maybe I'll get hotel rooms or, stuff like that, and I'll keep the dating to a minimum just, to get to know each other, right? But after like 3 months or so, 2 to 3 months, then, that's no problem. But yeah, I mean, this guy's just not being honest with you. Let's see. I'm not too deep in yet. We've only been meeting for almost 2 months. 2 months? You've been dealing with this for 2 months? Am I tripping, LOL, or onto something? Well, ma'am, I don't think you're tripping with your assessment. I think you're tripping still trying to figure out what's going on here and still trying to, give this guy a chance, ma'am. It's over. There's nothing there. And then she writes, edit. Well, guess my intuition was right. Now I just have to find out what to do. What? Find out what to do? Stop talking with him. If he reaches out to you, tell him, hey, you know what? I'm going to move on. I'm not interested. Then just block him or ghost him like everyone does, ma'am. How hard is it? Thanks, guys. And I'm guessing this wife or significant other is there all day, or maybe he even has kids. Well, some guys, I don't know how old this guy is. If he's older, that's a possibility. If he's younger, he probably lives, with family or a cousin, like he said, or something like that. He's just not being honest with you. He's hiding something. Maybe he does have something with someone else, and it's just not satisfying him, so he's looking for something on the side. But even if he's looking for that, he needs to be honest with whoever he comes across. There are actually women that are looking for guys like him, but you're looking for something more genuine, and he's not. You just didn't ask enough questions up front. You didn't do your proper vetting or qualifying this dude before you started hanging out with him. You could have done that by phone, man. But he's probably a really good-looking guy, and you were enamored by his looks. Just like some guys, most betas, if not all, they get enamored by a woman's looks, and then they just, let all the other red flags slide that are right in front of their face, just like the red flags were in front of your face here. Wow, wow, wow. Another edit there. I asked him again. Wait a minute here. Yeah, I asked him again, and this time he said his cousin's wife lives there too and is always home. Yeah, he probably lives in one of those, with no disrespect, one of those Hispanic homes. A lot of Hispanic people, to save money, they pack like a home with like 10 or 15 people, right? And they all split the rent like 10 or 15 ways. It's kind of cramped up, but it saves on rent. So maybe he's in one of those situations. Who knows? I definitely wouldn't want to date someone that lives in a cramped place like that. That just wouldn't give us any privacy ever. Um, let's see. Um, then he said, "You don't have to worry, baby. We will get our own house. I'm done." Really? This guy's horrible. He didn't tell me that at first. Well, now it makes me think he's definitely married and it is really his wife. This is funny. He actually thinks I believe him. This is pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. All right. So that's the end right there. Let me check out a couple of comments here before we wrap up this video here. First comment states, yes, I was going to say maybe he's just embarrassed of his living situation. That's what I was thinking too. But the not texting after a particular time screams in a relationship or a marriage, or you never know, right? Something like that. I went through similar many moons ago. This guy was sketchy AF. Okay, we know what AF stands for, right? Then on his birthday, his girlfriend put a picture up of him and his daughter I didn't know he had. Oh, man. A lot of these guys, they get with women because they're very hot. They sleep with them right away, unprotected, no birth control. They knock them up. And then, they figure out that, they just don't like their personality. Or after they have a kid, maybe the woman's not as attractive to them. And they start to lose interest. So they start to look elsewhere before they close the door on that relationship or marriage, right? That's what's happening here, right? And the thing is, look, women do this too. Both men and women do this exact same thing here. The thing is, if you're a single person that's never been married, has no kids, and you encounter someone that's sketchy like this and possibly in a situation like this, you got to ask a lot of questions off the bat. And if it seems too sketchy on a phone call, then don't meet them. There's so many other options out there. Come on. Wow. Texting him saying, "You're a dick," and he didn't reply. Later that day, I got a message from his girlfriend on Facebook saying she's been messaging people with my name all day, and was I the one that texted her BF that, and why? Broke my heart to tell her he's a cheating scumbag. He also would strictly only text during working hours, but was quiet from evening until 9 a.m. the next day, every day. If you're dating someone and you're not able to reach them at any given time, any given day, I'm not saying that you need to bombard your significant other all day, every day. But if you need to randomly call them for an emergency or something at, 9 p.m. at night or 9 a.m. in the morning or whenever, right? Okay, and they can't get back to you within a reasonable amount of time, then there's probably something up. The only thing that's excusable is that some people go to bed earlier. I'm an entrepreneur. My schedule is different, so my bedtime is different every night. And sometimes I go to bed earlier than usual because maybe that previous day or that day I actually didn't get as much sleep the night before and I worked more hours and I'm tired. So sometimes I fall asleep. But then when I wake up, it like the lady I'm with right now, and when I wake up, if I couldn't get back to her the night before, I'll text her and let her know what happened, right? But that doesn't happen all the time. If that happens all the time, then there's something up. So yeah, you ladies are spot on here. Both men and women do this though, so be careful. Let's see. And then let's see, the original poster reply says, wow, I'm glad you got out of this situation. I hate cheaters. And yes, he texts mostly during working hours. Evening hours, it becomes less and less because there's somebody there that he doesn't want to see, those texts going out to you. That's the bottom line. Come on, use common sense, right? Don't be a side chick victim. Not inviting you over is shady, and also not available after 8, weird. Yeah, on occasion it's okay, because maybe, people go to bed early sometimes, right? So on occasion that's fine, as long as you communicate and get back to your partner the next morning if they try to reach out to you, right? Okay? But if it happens too often, then you got to question it. You got to go with your instinct. You ladies have great intuition and instinct. Use it, right? Let's see here. Just a couple more here. This is pretty interesting. Give me a second here. Yes, he goes ghost after 8 to 9 p.m. No good night or nothing. LOL. He's not valuing you. Plus, you haven't slept with him, man, which is the right thing. We could be in the middle of a conversation and everything. I was thinking maybe because he does wake up early, that's what he wants me to think. Before I wrap up this video, I'm going to say this, okay? When a man is really into a woman and a woman is really into a man, they will prioritize each other, right? Now, as far as relationships go, women need to do 70 to 80% of all calling, texting, and pursuing. So the man shouldn't be reaching out first most of the time. It should be the woman, because for relationships to work, like I've said before, it has to be more of the woman's idea, right? But when the woman reaches out, okay, at any given point, the guy should get back within a reasonable amount of time. If he's free at that moment, he can get back to her, send her a text, hey, baby, you want to talk real quick before we go to bed, right? Okay? Or within an hour or two, right? Or if he ends up going to bed early that night and doesn't get back to her, when he wakes up, he should get back to her first thing in the morning and say, hey, baby, sorry, I fell asleep early. I missed your call, blah, 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 right? Okay? So, the bottom line is this. If two people are really into each other and you're dealing with a mature partner, if you're a woman dating a man that's mature, and if you're a man that's dating a woman that's mature, you both are going to be, responding maturely, and it's just going to flow naturally, and things will progress naturally. If it's not natural, if things are not flowing naturally forward, you got to get rid of that person that's not moving forward naturally. And that's where I'm going to wrap this video here today. I want to thank you all for taking the time to view this video. Another video is coming to this channel soon. Please like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications, and you have yourselves a great night's sleep. Take care. Bye-bye.